Yes. Thank you, ma'am, and I request Dr. Monika, ma'am, to kindly please take over the session. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. So, I welcome learners for this opportunity to have a national online workshop on synopsis and thesis writing. So, first, I will give you the overview of what we are going to cover in these 2 days. So, first day, we will focus on foundations and structure of synopsis and thesis. And on day 2, we will focus on thesis drafting, finalization, and publication strategies. So as far as this workshop is concerned, as I hope you all are aware, that this workshop has been carefully structured to address the pressing need among the PhD scholars to master essential skills in synopsis development and thesis writing. It focuses on developing a clear and focused research problem, building strong methodological frameworks, and designing a thesis aligned with UGC and university-specific guidelines. It includes publication ethics, writing styles, and transforming thesis work into Scopus Index journal publications. Participating scholars from leading universities including BIT Mesra, NMIMS Hyderabad, Reva University, MGM University, and others will gain practical knowledge and actionable insights. The focus is on scholarly excellence, ethics, and academic writing proficiency. You will engage in live activities, case-based learning, and structured stepwise modules. Each step is based on UGC norms, and examples from approved PhD theses from these institutions will be shown to make the learning more relatable and achievable. One thing I would like to mention here, please note it carefully, that the names of the universities and the scholars are all hypothetical. Do not take anything personally either for yourself or scholars of that university or that particular university itself. We have taken these hypothetical examples to make the concepts clear. So again, this is the name of the scholar and the university as an example. Dr. Ritesh Sharma from GLA University struggled with structuring his synopsis for over 6 months. Though he had a relevant topic in marketing analytics, he couldn't align it with the expected university format. After attending a structured online workshop on synopsis and thesis writing, he received a detailed roadmap on developing SMART objectives, SMART, using PRISMA, PRISMA for literature review, and aligning research questions with Scopus journal scope. He followed the guided format, utilized bibliographic tools like Zotero, and adopted the ethical standards learned during the session. His synopsis was accepted with minor corrections, and he later published 2 Scopus indexed articles. Today, he mentors fellow scholars at his university and emphasizes how such workshops bridge the gap between raw research and refined scholarly writing. So, why is alignment between thesis structure and university guidelines critical? Anyone? You have to participate as this is a workshop. Please respond to question 1. Anyone? Be fast. Yes, please. Why is alignment between thesis structure and university guidelines critical? Your participation is required to make it more effective. It is not a one-way communication, it is a two-way communication throughout the workshop. Please respond, anyone? No one? It ensures compliance with academic standards and smooth acceptance by research committees. What role do national level workshops play in thesis success? Yes. What role does such workshops play in thesis success? Please participate.
It,
Basically, these,
it
yes,
gives the roadmap to prepare the synopsis and thesis.
right, very right. They provide standardized frameworks, expert insights, and networking opportunities that enrich the scholar's approach. Which one of the following is a core objective of this workshop? Data entry, marketing, research skill development, and sales forecasting. Core objective of workshop.
Research skill development.
Very right. It is research skill development. What is the primary outcome expected by the end of day one? Completed thesis, research funding proposal, drafted synopsis outline, or published journal paper?
Drafted
See,
synopsis outline.
Very right. Sir and ma'am both. Thank you for being so participative. Drafted synopsis outline. So I appreciate the learners who give their 100%. Now let us perform one activity. I basically draft the activities for group, but you can do individually also. I will share the steps how to do it. So the title of the activity is University Guidelines Mapping Exercise. So what you need to do is you can download your university's PhD synopsis or thesis template that you already might be having. So you can open that synopsis template and then you can match this with core components of UGC guidelines. If you want to do this exercise right now, I'll give you 2-3 minutes or maximum 5 minutes. You can do it in parallel. Open the synopsis guidelines of your university and of UGC, and then share the gaps and overlaps here. Identify the gaps and discuss. The more you participate, the more you will learn. So should we proceed further or you will do this right now? You will do this later. Yes, please.
we'll do it later actually. Let us
We'll do
start.
it later, ma'am. Proceed further.
Okay, it's your choice, but basically workshop means hands-on experience. You should have paper and pen ready and should do it side by side. Even if you do not want to discuss your gaps here, you can keep it for you so that you can get benefited in the long run. So here are some web links and some suggested readings. Like this is what I have given to you. Download UGC guidelines, download guidelines of your university and identify the gaps. So then we can move on to structuring a research synopsis and thesis for publication. As we all know, a strong synopsis starts with a sharply defined research problem, followed by logically driven derived objectives and hypotheses. The next step includes a structured literature review using PRISMA, allowing you to filter relevant papers systematically. Some of you or all of you might be familiar with this PRISMA framework. So this is basically to filter relevant papers systematically. I have taken a separate workshop on it. Using theoretical frameworks helps strengthen the conceptual foundation. The methodology section should clearly outline tools, techniques, sample and data analysis strategies. Ethical writing practices must be followed throughout, including correct citations, use of APA referencing, and plagiarism checks using Turnitin. Once the thesis is ready, identifying Scopus Index journals relevant to each chapter and adapting the chapter content into publishable research articles is essential. Realistic timelines, journal scope matching, and submission procedures must be followed for successful publication. This entire process builds the credibility of the scholar and aligns their work with global research standards. So please listen to every word carefully. Now let us explore this. Again, the hypothetical situation. Priya Menon from NMIMS, Nameem, Hyderabad, developed her thesis on sustainable consumer behavior. She faced challenges in finalizing her objectives and choosing the right statistical method. During a national workshop, she was taught how to build a logical flow from her problem statement to hypothesis using Venkatesh UTA-UT-UTOUT model. She applied PRISMA to filter 70 articles from over 500 and used Smart PLS for data analysis. The workshop provided a template to convert her thesis into 3 Scopus level publications. After correcting citation errors and applying APA referencing guidelines, her paper was accepted in the International Journal of Consumer Studies. She now encourages peers to use such stepwise frameworks to ensure quality research outcomes. So how can using a model like PRISMA improve your literature review? Yes. Those who have used or who know this, they can answer.
Basically, the filtering of actually.
Right. Basically, it systematizes the inclusion of relevant research and identifies clear gaps. Please note that all the questions that I ask are from the caselet or the topic that is under discussion only. Nothing is asked from outside, so it reflects your concentration and your focus. The more you participate, the more you will learn. I prefer all of you to perform the exercises also side by side, but rest is your choice. What is the benefit of APA referencing over unstructured citation? Benefit of APA referencing over unstructured citation. Yes?
It's a universally accepted standards actually. APS.
Okay. Right, Mr. John. APA ensures academic integrity and standardization, very right, improving acceptance by journals. So what does PRISMA stand for? What does PRISMA stand for? Practical review in systematic management articles, preferred reporting items for systematic reviews and meta-analysis, pre-written reports in systematic management areas, and professional reporting of international studies and meta-analysis. Yes, please. Anyone? Yes? Not audible, sir?
B, option B, ma'am. Preferred reporting items.
Right. It is option B, preferred reporting items for systematic reviews and meta-analysis. Which software is ideal for referencing in APA? MS Word only, Notepad, Zotero, or Paint? Which software is ideal one for referencing in APA? Yes? Anyone? Right. It is
Zotero?
right. It is C Zotero. Now, an activity again. PRISMA mapping and APA referencing drill. So what you need to do is open the browser and identify 5 abstracts or take 5 abstracts from Scopus. Or you can take it from the papers you have already downloaded. Then you can apply PRISMA to filter relevant ones. 5 we are taking for online workshop only because it is time-bound activity. So you need to cite, everyone needs to cite one using APA in Zotero. And then you can review the output using Turnitin. I'll repeat the steps to be performed. Take 5 abstracts from Scoopers. Apply PRISMA to filter relevant ones. Then cite one using APA in Zotero. And then review the output using Turnitin. So this will refine the quality. So here are certain web links and suggested readings. So you can see here one link is for Prisma, one is for APA style, and one is for Zotero. So you can take the screenshots, you can use these links, and you can practice more. Now, foundations and structure of synopsis and thesis, something that we have defined for today. A synopsis, anyone who can define what we mean by synopsis?
Concise form of the research.
Okay.
The total research actually what we are supposed to do actually.
Right. So
Ma'am,
basically,
can you go for before PPT?
pardon?
The before PPT, ma'am.
Previous one? Previous
Yeah,
slide you mean to say?
right.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, this one?
Yes, ma'am. Right, ma'am.
Okay.
Will you
Thank
be
you.
sharing these slides, madam?
Sir, I think Bhola sir will share the video recording with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So PPTs are a part of recording itself. But still, you should have the habit of making your own notes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Now, foundations and structure of synopsis and thesis. So, a synopsis is a compact blueprint of the doctoral research journey. The first step involves selecting a focused and original title that captures the essence of the study. Next, a well-articulated problem statement highlights the research gap, followed by precise objectives and testable hypotheses. For example, a marketing scholar might examine how AI influences consumer decision making. I'll repeat this example. A marketing scholar might examine how AI influences consumer decision making. The literature review phase uses PRISMA, filtering thousands of papers into a manageable dataset based on inclusion and exclusion criteria. The research methodology includes details on sample size, tools like surveys or interviews, and analysis software like SPSS or Smart PLS. Structuring the thesis includes 5 key chapters. Anyone who can mention these 5 key chapters? Key chapters in thesis. First is?
Introduction,
Yes. Second?
literature review.
Right.
Review of
A
Third?
third is research objective, research methodology.
Right.
Research
Research
methodology.
methodology. Fourth?
Data analysis actually, a structure.
Yeah, we can say results and discussion.
Yeah.
And last,
Reference, ma'am.
before reference. Reference is not a chapter,
Not a
basically.
chapter.
Okay.
And it can be conclusions,
Yes,
Conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
followed by recommendations, suggestions, and all. Right? Or
Yeah.
conclusions, results and discussions. I think in discussions, you can discuss everything. And then conclusion at the end. Right. And then comes references, which is not a chapter. So,
So, ma'am, we have to write after our data analysis and everything. After that, we have to write our synopsis.
pardon?
We have to write our synopsis after completing data analysis and everything. Then should we write a synopsis,
No,
or
no.
before data analysis we can write synopsis?
Ma'am, synopsis is basically a proposal.
Okay.
How you will conduct your research.
So in the beginning,
Yeah, it is the
Because
beginning.
our I think my university, after 3 to 4 years, we generally write the synopsis.
No,
That's
no,
the
no. No, ma'am. basically, as per UGC, the standard practice is first you have to undergo mandatory coursework of 6 months.
Yes.
Then you have to submit your proposal in the form of a synopsis.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
And this is followed by your research and your thesis. And at the end, you can prepare a brief summary.
Okay. So what
Brief
we will
summary-
add in the data analysis chapter, what we are discussing?
Ma'am, like if it is a primary data based, you have collected the data, then you
Yes.
will apply certain tools and you will present the findings in research methodology, right? In results, you can share the results and then the interpretations, basically.
Okay, so
And-
synopsis could be different than final thesis.
Final thesis is the outcome of what you have already done.
Okay.
And synopsis is a proposal. What will you do and how will you do it?
Okay. So there would be a little bit change and everything would be accepted.
Yeah, synopsis is basically a future tense. Thesis is a present or past tense.
Okay.
Then synopsis,
Sorry to interrupt.
in
Sorry, ma'am.
synopsis, you cannot mention, the results. You have
Ma'am,
not
sorry to
collected
interrupt,
data.
ma'am. Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Actually, in our university also, like before 3 months of a thesis submission, we have to submit our synopsis. Like our DC members will be there, and whatever we have done, we will be just presenting them, ma'am. Before 3 months of like thesis, ma'am.
Ma'am, there are two ways to do one work. I hope all of you are aware of the concept of reverse engineering,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what you are doing is what you should propose after preparing the synopsis. They are asking you to prepare synopsis. That is actually not the realistic way to do, but you
Exactly.
have to abide by to the norms set by your university.
Yes, ma'am.
What I
Because
am
it's get
discussing-
difficult to do this thing when thesis is already we wrote only already we are preparing thesis. Then after we have to write the synopsis, it's getting problem.
basically
sometime.
what your university is focusing on, what is coming out from your conversation is they do not want any gap between your synopsis and your thesis.
Yes, ma'am.
Usually what happens is what we propose and when we actually do it, there occurs certain variation. And committee suggests certain, committee gives certain suggestions that needs to be implemented.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope I am clear and others will also agree to me.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Okay. See, there is one thing for sure in PhD, whether it is your actual work or your writing work, you have to abide by to what your guide says or suggests and what your university says. Right?
Yes,
But you
ma'am.
can always discuss what you have discussed here. You can, very politely and but effectively put your viewpoint in front of your guide, and you may convince your university in the meetings through your guide that they should follow the standard procedure as framed by UGC in times to come. Yeah, you can always give your feedback. Right? Okay, let us move further. So, following university-specific guidelines like NMIMS, REVA, and UGC norms ensure acceptance and standardization. This foundational structure is the springboard for a well-crafted, publication-ready thesis. So, Dr. Neha Sharma, a PhD scholar at MGM University, Aurangabad, faced difficulty aligning her synopsis format with institutional expectations. Her initial draft lacked clear objectives, methodological depth, and a theoretical framework. After attending the first day of a national thesis workshop, she used PRISMA to streamline her literature review from 3,000 to 42 key studies. She reframed her problem statement to target a measurable consumer behavior issue in e-commerce. With clear objectives and a tested model, she defined her methodology with valid tools and accurate sample design. Her revised synopsis passed the internal screening and received appreciation for its structured, researchable design. Later, she expanded her chapters, following UGC's recommended format, and published in a Scopus Index journal. The stepwise training provided the foundation for both thesis approval and successful publication. So why is using a structured format for a synopsis essential in PhD research? Why is using a structured format for synopsis essential in PhD research?
To know the like format or guidelines which has been given, when we follow the SOP, we are easy to finish off our thesis, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone else? It ensures coherence, academic rigor, and alignment with university and UGC expectations. But ma'am, so I have one question here from both of you, Himanshi ma'am and you. Like you said, it is very difficult to write synopsis at the end. Is it difficult or is it easy?
Ma'am, it's not difficult. Whatever we found, like after the data analysis alone, we just come before completing our thesis, like our DC members, and we will be just having like a mini viva, ma'am. Like actually, I'm from Wales University. I'm pursuing my PhD, ma'am, second doctoral degree
Right.
in management. So I'm just expecting my synopsis by October. So the just format is like whatever I have done in this 3-4 years, I have to just present to my forum, and they will suggest like if there is any suggestion, final correction will be done, and I have to implement in my thesis.
You have
Actually, ma'am,
already done data analysis and everything?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have
So
done
this
with
is
all my-
basically pre-thesis viva, not synopsis.
But
actually,
we call it as a synopsis alone, ma'am. We are in Tamil
No.
Nadu, like like
Normally, synopsis starts with after the coursework. The synopsis is presented to RSC. This is what the universities follows actually.
Right.
actually, what problem I am facing is that we are working. We have to concise our work and synopsis after writing most of the chapter of thesis. So the problem I am facing is that we have already worked so many so after every chapter and most of the work our is done. Then after we have to write synopsis, or we have to concise the information, what should add and what should not. So that is the problem what I am facing. That's the reason I asked the question. And because of so many my other friends, they are from different universities, they have the same concept like you, ma'am, that first we have to submit synopsis, then afterward they have to submit their thesis. But in our university, we have a different concept, like 6 months before thesis submission, we have to submit the synopsis.
same, ma'am. I agree with her, ma'am. The same format alone.
Okay. Okay.
So lot of information we have to concise in 20-30 pages,
Okay.
maybe. So what to add, what not to add, there is no proper sometime guide. In my unit, I don't have a proper guideline that what to add, what to avoid. That's the reason I'm here today.
Okay. Okay. So you can refer to UGC guidelines in such a case.
Okay, ma'am, definitely. Thank you.
Right. Another thing is,
Basically, it is the pre-thesis viva. It is.
yeah, I am also considering it as a pre-thesis viva. Might be there is certain confusion.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing
Maybe
is,
the word we are using synopsis, maybe they have a pre-synopsis
okay,
or something
just
like
tell me one thing. Are you writing in present tense or future tense or past tense?
present tense, actually.
Present tense, ma'am.
Present tense.
Yes.
Okay. You are not proposing what will you do.
No.
So you are just summarizing what you have already done.
Yes, ma'am.
Kind
Yes,
of, yes, yes.
So basically, ma'am, actually standard is coursework followed by synopsis, then your actual work and thesis, and then we need to submit brief summary in 25-30 pages also, along with the main thesis.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
again a
This is what.
standard practice.
Yeah,
So you
this is
are
what
talking
most
about
of the
brief
universities
summary
follow.
of the entire work you have already done.
Yes,
Okay.
this is
So
what
why
most
do
of the
they need
universities are
That's the
following.
reason I'm not able to get a proper guidance from the internet and other, because of this confusion.
See, ma'am,
Because whenever I find synopsis, they have a different format and
No, no.
different type.
Synopsis is basically a proposal, and
Exactly.
brief
What?
summary is of what you have already done. See, if someone sends your thesis for evaluation to any external expert, they may not have time to go through the entire thesis initially, or they need time to they need to decide whether they should accept evaluation or not. So they ask for summary first, and your summary helps them decide whether they should accept your thesis for evaluation or not.
Okay. Because some of my
It is more
colleagues
like
changed it after synopsis, they changed in thesis also because their data was not proper. They got some minor error and everything. So their data analysis was changed and everything is gonna change. So that's the
Right.
reason why people, there is a confusion what I feel.
See, ma'am, let me explain it further. First, we have 6 months coursework. Then we have
Yes.
synopsis, again followed by presentations. During synopsis also we need to present, and there is some external expert. And then every 6 months we have presentation in front of committee members,
Yes.
which is known by different names in
Yes.
different organizations. And then we have pre-thesis submission, and then we have final viva, open viva, where we invite expert along with open house viva. Anyone can come, I
Come
mean
in,
any
yes.
scholar or any faculty, and they can ask anything they feel so. Right, that is the
Okay.
mandate by the UGC. After the approval and with suggestions, if you are able to incorporate and the external approves it, then only degree will be awarded. And I think at least 2 experts, external experts, review your thesis. One may be
Yes.
international. So you are using the term synopsis, but you are actually discussing brief summary. And now I understand your
Yes.
position. It's very difficult. But see,
Exactly.
let me give you some example. I hope you must have written some paper, research paper.
Yes.
And in before anyone goes through, even if we want to read any paper, first we go through its abstract.
Abstract, yes.
And then we make up our mind whether we need to go through the paper, entire paper or not.
Yes.
The same is the role of a brief summary for your thesis.
Okay. Got
It
it.
helps readers decide whether they should go for your thesis, entire thesis or not.
Okay. Got it, ma'am.
Got it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, that is the actual purpose of this workshop. We are here to, give answers to your queries so that you feel relaxed, you feel comfortable.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Welcome. Welcome. So I asked the second question, how does the use of PRISMA enhance the literature review process? Yes. So it helps systematically screen and include only relevant studies, improving the depth and the focus. Which of the following is not a core component of a synopsis? Objectives, research design, personal biography, or hypothesis?
Personal
Personal
biography.
biography.
Personal biography.
Everyone to speak. I want everyone to participate. Otherwise, there is no motive having this workshop.
See.
Even, presenters need motivation to deliver the sessions. And their source of motivation is the active participation. That's it.
B is the answer.
Thank you.
B.
Thank you. Okay, so you have seen it. Okay, the correct order of thesis chapters is introduction, review of literature, methodology, results, and conclusion. I agree that when you write, this is the correct order. But when we start research, what is the first step?
Methodology for A, ma'am.
No, no, not
So, sorry,
methodology.
C.
First step, during conducting of research in actual. No, for as far as the answer to this question is concerned, correct order of thesis chapters is B only. Your answer is right when you are writing your thesis. But my question is, when we are starting research, first step, what is the first step we take to conduct research, to initiate research?
Methodology.
Collecting the data.
No, no.
No, ma'am. Review alone, ma'am. Review.
Right, right, very right. Actually, the first step is review of literature, so that we should not end up finding the same thing that has already been found.
Yes.
We should know what has already been done, right? And then we compare it with the current scenario, and then we identify the gaps from where we get the questions, research questions, on the basis of which objectives are formulated. This is the correct way. I hope you will agree to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Now another activity, thesis structure mapping. So what you need to do here is, you can take one sample of approved synopsis from any university, and then you can map one part of the structure, such as title, problem, objectives, etc. And then you can compare it with the university format. Clear? I mean, you have taken one approved synopsis from a particular university A, and then you have mapped it under the different titles, like different parts of the structure of the thesis, like title, problem, objectives, and then you can compare it, your university format, compare with your university format, right? And then you can identify the differences. You can compile these differences, which will actually give you certain insights. Like you are saying, you ask from other fellows in other universities, and you are able to identify the gaps. Basically, this is very, very important activity that you have been doing, because it provides you insights. So as far as the flow chart is concerned, we should define the title, then we should define the problem, then define the objectives, followed by hypothesis, methodology, then expected results, and then chapter plan. This is basically the outline of synopsis. I'll repeat: title, problem, objectives, hypothesis, methodology, expected results, and chapter plan. This is the proposal, how we are planning to do. So here are certain web links you can see here, and you can use these or of your university. Then understanding the components of a PhD synopsis in management. So a PhD synopsis in management begins with a clearly formulated title that captures the scope, domain, and methodology of the study. It should be concise, keyword-rich, and reflect the research intent. Objectives serve as the foundation. They must be SMART, S-M-A-R-T. For instance, instead of saying, now listen to the example carefully, instead of saying to study consumer behavior, what we can say? Can anyone modify this title? To study consumer behavior. Is this title correct?
Perception of
Please repeat. Yes,
a
ma'am.
perception of consumer behavior among any whatever the target respondent, you can mention it for an example in any industry.
Right. Anyone else? The more you participate, the more you will learn. So, like, I'll give you one suggestion to evaluate, rather than saying to study consumer behavior, we can say to evaluate the influence of digital promotions on purchase intention among Gen Z consumers in urban India. I'll repeat, to evaluate the influence of digital promotions on purchase intention among Gen Z consumers in urban India. Right? Why I have stated like this, we will discuss in next slides. So, hypotheses follow drawn from theoretical models. Now, from where do we frame hypotheses? So, hypotheses follow, we draw these from objectives, but we also take into consideration the theoretical models like TAM. TAM full form? Which model? TAM. Full form?
Theory of
Yes. Theory of TAM. Theory of?
I forgot actually.
You forgot? Okay. SERVQL. SERVQL. Anyone? Full form of SERVQL? Management students should know this. Please tell me. TAM is basically a technology acceptance model, right? And SERVQL is taken from two words. This is basically a scale, and it has been made by PZB, Parsuraman, Zithamal, and Berry, basically to measure service quality. So from service, we have taken the word serve, and from quality, we have taken the word qual. So this way we got this scale, SERVQL, comprising 28 items. Clear? So a strong hypothesis example in context with the previous example, H1 can be customer trust mediates the relationship between service quality and brand loyalty. The rationale is derived from literature review gaps and highlights why this research is needed now. The expected contribution should reflect what new knowledge or application the research will bring, be it improving marketing strategy, extending a theory, or influencing policy. Each section must align with UGC and institutional formats like those of NAMIMS, GLA, REBA, or any other. Now, to understand this further, let us see. Ravindra Deshmukh, a research scholar from MGM University, began with the broad topic, marketing trends in FMCG. So can you refine this topic? Marketing trends in FMCG? Just give it a try.
This is actually it's a broad subject actually. This is not
Yes.
confined to
Yes,
confined to any particular thing actually. It is very vague in sense.
very vague, very, very broad. Right? So what we can do?
It has
So,
to be focused, concise and focused to a particular
right.
topic.
Right. So his supervisor guided him to narrow it. So after analyzing Scooper's articles using PRISMA, he reformulated his title as Evaluating the Impact of Influencer Marketing on FMCG Purchase Decisions Among Millennials in Tier 2 Cities. Now, can you see the difference? And each word that we have taken in the title?
Yes,
So,
yes.
his objectives were rewritten to reflect SMART criteria. He built hypotheses based on the theory of TPB, that is, theory of planned behavior. The rationale section demonstrated a clear gap, limited studies in Tier 2 markets. For contribution, he framed practical insights for marketers and extended the TPB model into regional contexts. When he presented this refined topic at the University Review Committee, it was approved without revisions. His structured approach aligned with the institutional expectations of MGM and was further commended during an external viva. The foundation later enabled him to write 2 journal articles targeting Scopus indexed publications. I hope I am able to clarify, but we will go in depth stepwise, right? So why is a focus title essential in a PhD synopsis? Yes, please. Focus title essential in PhD synopsis. Why?
Basically, it focuses on the objectives and the of your study,
Right.
and
It will give you clear idea what you want to research.
Very right, Himanshi ma'am. So it ensures clarity, sets the
Clarity.
research boundary. See, defining our boundary is very, very important.
yeah.
Because when you go for in-depth research, you will find lot of similar things, but there is hairline difference. So basically, we need to define our boundaries and we have to confine ourselves. Yes, sir. You want to say anything?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. And guides the reader on the scope and the intent. What role does the rationale play in a synopsis? What role does the rationale play in the synopsis?
It gives a justification for what we want to do actually.
Okay,
It helps in identification of the research gap.
very right. It justifies the study by identifying gaps and demonstrates its relevance to the theory and the practice. Which of the following should be smart in a synopsis? Title, hypothesis, objectives, or literature review?
Title.
Smart.
Objectives, ma'am.
Objectives.
Yes. What kind of
Objective.
objectives? Full form of SMART. S for
Specific, measurable, achievable, different, and time bound.
very, very right. So objectives must be SMART. Yeah, it is basically a abbreviation. What does the expected contribution typically highlight? Review process, research gaps, institutional affiliation, or
P.
theoretical and practical impacts? Which
Theory.
one?
PD.
Yeah.
Theoretical and practical impact.
Right. Now activity, build your synopsis framework. How you can do this? Right. So first thing, you need a broad research idea. First step. And then after you have one broad idea, okay, I want to conduct research on so and so things. Right. So what you need to do next? You can define the title in maximum 20 words. Not more than 20, but in our university, they prefer only 15 words or less. Then define the objectives, SMART objectives, then hypothesis, then one rationale, the rationale of the concept in 3 lines, then expected contribution, and then you can discuss your presentations here. So what will be the flowchart? Topic, title, objectives, hypothesis, rationale, and then contribution. I hope I'm clear now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So one web link. So you can keep, okay, right. Writing an effective research problem statement. This is little difficult, how to write problem statement. So a well-crafted research problem is the foundation of a successful PhD thesis. It identifies a specific gap in current literature and practice, focuses on a particular issue within management, and clearly signals the value your study adds. The process starts with an extensive literature review using Scopus or Web of Science to identify themes, that are underexplored or emerging. Using the SMART framework helps sharpen the research problem, making it measurable and practically relevant. For example, in consumer behavior research, one might observe that although digital payment adoption is well studied in urban India, but rural consumer motivation remains unexplored. So, do you understand how to identify gaps now? As far as, like, I have taken the example of digital payment adoption.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So this observed gap is refined into a research problem. How? What are the factors influencing the adoption of digital payments among rural consumers in Maharashtra post-COVID-19? Now, I'll repeat. What are the factors influencing the adoption of digital payments among rural consumers in Maharashtra post-COVID-19? So now you see this statement, problem statement. This is specific, right? This is measurable. This is relevant to policy, and this is researchable too. So whenever you define, you make any problem statement, it must be specific. SMART objectives now we are talking about. It must be measurable. It must be relevant. Relevant to what? Relevant to policy and researchable. It also connects theory with practice and allows for empirical investigation through primary data collection. Now see which research is considered appreciable or welcomed by the society. See, the research becomes realistic only when it is applied by some industry, it is used by some industry, or it facilitates policy formulation or policy revision. Whatever your outcome is after conducting research for so many years, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, what it is actually going to contribute to. Will any industry take it and implement it? Or will government invite you to give your insights for policy formulation or modification or execution, right? So it has to be relevant to policy or to industry. Then only research is considered real, beneficial, actually worth. Clear? Applied research basically. Now let us see a case study. Anita Kumari, a scholar from BITS Mesra, began her PhD in HRM focusing on employee engagement. Initially, her research problem was broad and vague: employee engagement in the private sector. Her supervisor advised her to revisit existing literature using Scopus and identify a more specific gap. Anita discovered that while engagement strategies in IT firms were widely covered, very few studies focused on employee engagement in the Indian MSME sector, especially post-pandemic. She restructured her problem statement to: how do small-scale IT firms in Jharkhand implement employee engagement strategies in a hybrid work model post-COVID-19? I hope it is clear now.
Yes, yes, yeah.
This revised version made her research specific, time-bound, contextually grounded, and suitable for empirical validation. It also aligned with the goals of targeting publication in a relevant Scopus indexed HR journal. Her revised synopsis was approved within 3 weeks, and her case now serves as a model in her university's PhD coursework. Why must a research problem be based on a literature gap? Yes.
Only after the literature review, you will come to know that what is the gap which is existing actually.
Right. So it ensures the research contributes new knowledge rather than replicating existing findings. If you keep on replicating what has already been found, no one will take interest.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So
Yeah.
it has to contribute to new knowledge, beneficial either to industry or to policymakers. How does a smart framework support formulation? How does a smart framework support formulation of a research problem? That we have seen? Yes. Anyone? Smart framework support in research problem formulation. It ensures the research is focused, feasible, and aligned with doctoral timelines and outcomes. Which of the following elements is not part of SMART framework? Achievable, specific, random, or measurable?
Random.
Random, right. R is for? R is for?
Relevant.
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 Right. A vague research problem affects supervisor's salary, clarity of research objectives, formatting of thesis, or citation count.
Clarity of research objectives.
Right. Clarity of research objectives. Then refining research problem using SMART test. What you need to do here in this? So you need to make use of SMART checklist to evaluate whether the research problem is specific. Like you have written some research problem, you have framed some research problem. Now check it on SMART parameters. So ask first question, check first thing. Is it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, or time bound? Then peer review in groups using a Google Sheet template. Then based on the feedback, you can refine problem statements. And then you can revise the statement along with justification. So S, how will the flow chart go? S leading to M to A to R to T, ultimately leading to research problem statement. Am I clear now? I hope you are taking interest.
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So you see here again, I have given the web links and you can see I check the web links before sharing. For UGC guidelines, I will suggest go for the latest format. It keeps on updating. Conducting a systematic literature review using PRISMA. Conducting a systematic literature review using PRISMA involves a structured and reproducible process to ensure academic rigor. The first step is to formulate a research question using the PICOS model. What is the full form of PICOS? P-I-C-O-S? P for population, I, intervention, C, comparison, O, outcome, and S, study design. Population, intervention, comparison, outcome, and study design. This leads to targeted searches in databases such as Scopus and Web of Science. Next, the PRISMA 2020 flow diagram is applied to screen records. During identification, all search results are compiled and duplicates are removed. Screening is done at the title and abstract level, followed by eligibility assessment using inclusion-exclusion criteria based on year, domain, relevance, and methodological fit. Full text articles are reviewed to ensure alignment with the research objectives. A gap matrix is then created by comparing thematic clusters of the final 30 to 50 selected articles. For example, a scholar studying fintech adoption in rural India might discover that user resistance is understudied compared to technology acceptance models, indicating a potential research gap. Dr. Kavita Raj from Siddha Ganga Institute of Technology was working on her thesis in HR analytics. She struggled to filter quality literature for her review section. During the workshop, she learned the PRISMA-based systematic review process. She applied the PICO strategy to define her scope, HR managers population, predictive analytics as intervention, traditional HR methods as comparison, and decision accuracy as outcome, and empirical studies as study design. So using Scopus and Jester, she identified 276 articles. The PRISMA flow diagram guided her through removing 63 duplicates and screening 213 titles and abstracts. She applied inclusion criteria of articles from 2015 to 2024 in English and published in peer-reviewed journals. After full text assessment, she narrowed down to 42 studies. She then analyzed keywords and findings to identify underexplored dimensions such as ethical concerns in HR analytics, which became her thesis focus. Her supervisor appreciated the structured depth and she successfully submitted a Scopus Index article. So what are the main benefits of using PRISMA in thesis writing? Yes, please. Main benefits of using PRISMA in thesis writing. Anyone? It ensures transparency,
Transparency, yeah.
systematic documentation, and replicability of the literature review process. How does applying inclusion and exclusion criteria enhance research quality?
Mhm.
How does applying inclusion and exclusion criteria enhance research quality? It filters irrelevant studies, aligns literature with research objectives, and improves validity. What does the PICO stand for in PRISMA-based SLR? Systematic literature review.
B. Population intervention comparison outcome.
It's a B actually.
It is B,
B.
right.
B.
Population intervention comparison outcome and study design. Which of the following is a PRISMA step? Interview transcription, flow diagram screening, regression analysis, or SPSS modeling?
Oh, diagram screen.
It is
PRISMA step.
which one?
Flow diagrams.
Yes, it is flow diagram screening. Right. Now, how to build a PRISMA flow diagram and activity? So what you can do is you can take one particular topic like green HRM, rural e-commerce, and then you can run a Scopus search and document the number of articles. Then you can apply inclusion exclusion criteria to shortlist the articles, which articles you need to keep or which you want to exclude based on certain parameters, maybe the year or any other. Then you can create a PRISMA 2020 flow diagram using a Canva or PRISMA templates. Then you can present the diagram with final article count and gaps identified. Clear? And you can find this PRISMA 2020 flow diagram template online. So I have given the official website of PRISMA also. All right. Now, formulating research objectives and hypotheses. Formulating research objectives begins with the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. A well-structured objective defines what the researcher aims to achieve based on a clearly articulated research problem. For instance, a SMART objective could be to measure the impact of digital marketing strategies on customer retention in retail banking within 6 months. Now, from these objectives, you can see hypotheses are derived. A directional hypothesis suggests the expected direction of the relationship. Now, try to understand the difference between directional and non-directional hypothesis. So, a directional hypothesis suggests the expected direction of the relationship, such as digital marketing strategies significantly increase customer satisfaction. So, this word increase indicates direction. But in case of a non-directional hypothesis, which states a relationship exists but does not predict the direction, means when you are able to identify that there occurs a relationship between IB and DB, this is non-directional. But when you are able to share the impact or the direction, whether it is going to increase or decrease or positively impact or negatively impact, then it can be stated as directional. Right? Okay. So
Yes,
you see, yes, there is one example. There is a significant relationship between digital marketing and customer retention. Is it directional or non-directional?
directional.
A significant relationship between digital marketing and customer retention. Which direction? There is a significant relationship. Is it stating some direction or just stating that there is a relationship?
Just relationship.
Just relationship. So it is non-directional. If we say there occurs an increase in relationship between digital marketing and customer retention, then it can become directional. Understood the difference? If I say digital marketing strategies significantly increase customer retention, then it will become directional. So you must ensure hypotheses align directly with the research objectives and are testable using appropriate methods. Proper formulation enhances clarity and improves acceptance by doctoral committees and peer-reviewed journals. Now let us explore. Nikita Joshi, a PhD scholar at Reva University, was researching employee engagement and organizational performance. Her initial synopsis lacked clarity in objectives and didn't include testable hypotheses. During a national level workshop, she was trained to convert broad aims into smart objectives. She revised one objective as to evaluate the effect of employee engagement programs on performance indicators in IT firms over the next 12 months. Now, is this directional or non-directional? Let us see. From this, she framed a directional hypothesis. Employee engagement programs significantly, now she used the word improve. Improve indicates
It's a
direction.
direction.
Yeah. I hope now you are able to understand the difference between directional and non-directional.
Yeah.
If this word improve is missing, then it becomes non-directional because it states that there exists a relationship. But what will be the direction of the relationship? That is missing. Right? Okay. Significantly improve organizational performance in IT firms. She also drafted a non-directional one for comparison. Now see, this is what you can do. Little tricky. You have framed one directional that you actually have to do, but for comparison, you can make a non-directional too. There is a relationship between employee engagement and organizational performance. So there is no direction. So these changes aligned her research design with her problem statement and literature review. Her revised synopsis was approved without revision, and she submitted a Scopus Index publication based on her findings. She credits the clarity brought by using smart objectives and testable hypotheses. Why are smart objectives crucial in PhD level research? They provide clear, measurable targets that ensure research remains focused and feasible. What is the key difference between directional and non-directional hypothesis?
Shows the relationship, direct relationship actually,
Yeah, if it shows the relationship, then it is.
directional.
If it shows the relationship only between DV and IV, it is only the relationship, that there occurs a relationship. It is non-directional. But if it can predict the direction of the relationship, whether it will increase, whether it will improve, then it becomes directional.
Directional. Actually.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What does M in SMART stand for?
Measurable. Measurable.
Which is an impact of a directional hypothesis? An
Excellent.
example of a directional hypothesis. Find that particular word. Which word helped you identify?
Increase.
Increasing. Right.
Significantly increases.
And which one indicates non-directional here?
There is a relationship between training and practice.
A1.
A indicates non-directional, B indicates directional.
Yeah.
Very right. I hope now it's clear. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you can do one activity on hypothesis tree mapping. So what you can do is you can take 3 SMART objectives, and for each objective you can create one directional and one non-directional hypothesis, right? So hypotheses are plotted on a tree diagram from objective to testable statements. So what you can do is you can make a tree, and the roots of the tree will be the research problem, and branches will be SMART objectives, and sub branches can be directional and non-directional hypothesis. I'll repeat. Draw one tree. Research problem will be the root. SMART objectives will be the branches, and directional and non-directional hypothesis will be the sub branches. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So try to relate what is known to you. Some exam links. Then designing a research framework, conceptual and theoretical models. So designing a research framework involves organizing ideas, theories, and variables into a structured format that defines the pathway of your study. Constructs are broad concepts like brand loyalty or employee engagement. And these constructs are broken down into measurable variables, such as customer retention rate or job satisfaction score. Each construct must be grounded into existing theory. For example, using the TAM to study consumer adoption of mobile apps. The conceptual framework visually shows the directional relationships between IV, MV, mediators, and DV through arrows. The logic should match research objectives and hypotheses. If you study the impact of online reviews, this is DV or IV? Online reviews on purchase intention. If you study the impact of online reviews on purchase intention, what is DV and IV here? Impact of online reviews on purchase intention. Online reviews is IV and purchase intention is DV. Then MV could be trust. So the framework ensures all components are coherent and provide the roadmap for collecting data and testing hypotheses. Theoretical models lend academic rigor, while conceptual diagrams simplify complex relationships for clarity and validation. How? At BITS Mesra, PhD scholar Ayush Mittal was researching the effect of social media marketing on consumer buying behavior. Initially, he lacked a clear framework. During the workshop, he identified key constructs such as brand awareness, trust, and purchase intention. Drawing from TPB, he positioned attitude, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control as predictors of CB. He transformed these constructs into measurable variables and established direct and indirect relationships in a conceptual framework. Trust was positioned as a mediator. He drew a clear diagram aligning variables and theory. The framework helped him construct meaningful hypotheses and later analyze data using SAM in Smart PLS. His guide appreciated the clarity and theoretical grounding. The revised synopsis was accepted at first review, and he is now writing a research paper using this same model for a Scoopus Index journal. So why is a conceptual framework important in thesis? It provides
Conceptual framework is a signpost. It's a direction actually. How we
Right.
are going to frame the thesis actually.
Very right. It provides clarity, direction, and aligns theory with measurable research constructs. How does theory improve the strength of your framework? How does theory improve the strength of your framework?
You can associate with different theories.
Right. It gives academic grounding, ensuring credibility and logical justification for variable selection. What does the conceptual framework depict? What does the conceptual framework depict?
Relation
It's a
between
relationship.
variables.
Variables
Right.
actually.
Relationships between
Between
variables.
variables.
Which of the following is a theoretical model? Theoretical. Yeah, it is. It is TAM. Right.
TAM.
Technology acceptance. Now you can build your own conceptual framework. How? So you can select a topic from your hypothesis. Then you can identify IV, DV, MV, and you can draw the constructs. Now you can match constructs with an existing theory like TPB, TAM, SurveyQuel, etc. And you can use the arrows to show the relationships. Then you can peer review each other's frameworks. So what will be the flow? Conceptual framework showing IV, MV, DV based on TAM. Right? Some links. Here I have shared one video link also.
Ma'am, is it possible? Can you share some example or something that show the conceptual framework?
Yes.
And
that is why I have shared here a video link and then one paper published. Right? I have shared two links here. One is paper, one is video. You can go through it and we can discuss tomorrow if you like.
Okay, done.
Right? Just go through this.
Yeah.
Right. Because of limited time, I have shared the links. Research methodology in management, qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods. So should we go directly to the case to understand it? Yes?
Yeah.
Or should I explain the concept? Because these concepts are covered in the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can go
Case is
directly.
the central thing, right? Yes? Please repeat.
Directly go to the
Yes.
case.
Let us go through more and more cases to get real life exposure. Okay. Dr. Anjali Rao, a scholar of a particular university, explored employee responses to AI-enabled performance appraisal systems. Initially, she conducted semi-structured interviews with 15 employees from IT firms in Bengaluru. Using Navivo or NVivo, she identified three emerging themes: fear of displacement, data privacy, and perceived objectivity. To validate these themes on a larger scale, she designed a structured questionnaire based on insights. The survey was administered to 300 respondents and results were analyzed using MOS for SEM. Her study combined both qualitative depth and quantitative validity, creating a comprehensive research design. The methodology section in her thesis clearly justified the need for a sequential, exploratory, mixed method approach based on complexity of research questions. Her work was published, right? So, in what situation should a mixed method approach be preferred? When the research problem requires both exploratory understanding and empirical validation. What is the importance of methodology justification in a thesis? Why we need to justify methodology? It ensures academic rigor, aligns methods with research goals, and increases the credibility of results. Which of the following is a qualitative research tool? Qualitative. Yes.
Thematic analysis.
Right. Thematic analysis. Which software is used for SEM commonly?
Smart PLS.
Smart PLS. Right. And then sampling design and sample size estimation. Arvind chose to study the impact of digital marketing strategies on consumer behavior in Tier 2 cities. Initially, he selected 60 respondents through convenience sampling. His guide suggested that the sample lacked generalizability. He was advised to shift to stratified random sampling to include equal representations from students, working professionals, homemakers. So using RAWSoft, he calculated a minimum sample size of 370 for a population of 10,000 with a 5% margin of error and 95% confidence level. He applied G-power to validate the sample adequacy before running SEM analysis in Smart PLS. The revised sampling design improved the research credibility and helped him publish the work. So what are the main differences between probability and non-probability sampling in context of a synopsis or thesis writing? We all know that probability sampling involves random selection, whereas non-probability sampling does not, which actually affects the generalizability when we need to generalize. Why is power analysis crucial before conducting hypothesis testing? It ensures that the sample size is sufficient to detect meaningful effects and reduces type 2 errors. Which software helps in estimating required sample size using power analysis? Name suggests? Yes.
G-power.
Yes. In stratified sampling, the population is
Stratified awareness approach.
Divided into subgroups and sample.
right. It is B. Divided into subgroups and sample drawn from.
each. Yeah.
And here, see, I have given you the links. These are very, very effective. Surveysystem.com, SSCalc. I mean, this is a calculator to calculate sample size, right? Link for calculator. And the first one is for G-power, right? Just explore these links. These are working. Now, writing a high impact review of literature section. Okay. Shalini aimed to study leadership communication in Indian startups. Her initial LR consisted of paragraphs summarizing each study separately. Her guide pointed out the lack of synthesis. During the national workshop, she learned it. She learned how to organize her literature into themes such as communication patterns, startup culture, and leadership effectiveness. She used PRISMA to shortlist 92 relevant studies from 600. She tabulated them in Excel on the basis of year, country, and methodology. Then, using Zotero, she streamlined citations. She critically evaluated contrasting theories like transformational versus transactional leadership, and highlighted research gaps in Indian startup contexts. This thematic and synthesized approach improved her LR literature chapter, which was praised by the university review panel. So the structured review helped her develop solid objectives and hypotheses, contributing to her research work. So what are the advantages of synthesizing literature over describing studies? Synthesis highlights patterns, contradictions, and research gaps more effectively. Why is PRISMA recommended for SLR? It ensures transparency, replicability, and quality control. What is the key purpose of LR in thesis?
Identifying research
Identify
gaps
research
and
gaps.
It is C.
setting context.
Which tool is commonly used for managing references? Which one? Right. It is C, Zotero. Then see, I have given the links. Prisma, Zotero, and Scopus, you all know. Then data collection tools such as survey, interviews, observations, and secondary data sources. Okay. Ananya was researching customer satisfaction in e-banking services. She developed a 25-item survey using SERVQL dimensions, but struggled with inconsistent results. After attending the data tool session in the national workshop, she learned to revise her items for clarity and seek expert feedback to achieve face and content validity. A pilot test with 30 users revealed 7 confusing questions. She refined them, retested reliability using SPSS, and achieved a Cronbach alpha of 0.81, indicating high consistency. She also created an interview guide for bank managers to add qualitative insights. Secondary data from RBI annual reports further validated trends. Her thesis received positive feedback from her research committee, and she later published a paper. The structured process taught in the workshop ensured academic rigor and improved data credibility. So why is pilot testing important before full-scale data collection? It helps identifying confusing items and ensure the tools measures intended variables accurately. How does Cronbach's alpha help in survey validation? It tests internal consistency, confirming that multiple items reliably measure the same construct. What type of validity checks if the content covers all aspects of a concept? Yes. Which validity? Whether entire concept has been covered or not. It is? Name suggests. What we are checking? Please tell me. Types of validity. What type of validity checks if the content covers all aspects of a content, of a concept?
It's a content validity.
Right. It is the clue here. If the content covers.
Content validity.
Content is the key.
Content
Content validity. Right. Which software is used to test survey reliability? Very easy. Which software? How do we, what is the test of reliability? It is named as? Yes, measure of reliability is Cronbach alpha.
Yes.
Which software helps us to identify it, to know Cronbach alpha value?
SPS.
SPSS. Right. Okay. Web links, right? Again for SPSS statistics, then RM data collection, then explorable RM, right? Then plagiarism, research ethics, and academic integrity in thesis writing. Just give me 2-3 minutes. I'm trying to wind up. Okay. Siddharth submitted his thesis draft for internal review. His supervisor noticed unusually high overlap with existing studies. A Turnitin report revealed a 42% similarity index, largely due to improper paraphrasing and missing citations. He was asked to revise the thesis and undergo an online workshop module on plagiarism and ethics. He rewrote key sections using original interpretation, added proper in-text citations, and used Zotero for referencing. The revised Turnitin score was 9%. His synopsis and final thesis were approved, and he successfully published a paper. He acknowledged that mastering paraphrasing techniques,
This is writing.
understanding citation rules, improved his work's originality, and also helped him build long-term credibility as a scholar. So, he conducts orientation sessions on research integrity for new doctoral students now. What is considered an acceptable similarity index in thesis writing by most universities? It should be below 10 to 15%. Why is paraphrasing important in academic writing? It ensures originality while accurately reflecting existing knowledge with proper attribution. So which software is used to check similarity in academic writing?
Turnitin.
Right.
Turnitin.
What is the recommended citation style in most management PhD thesis?
APA 7th edition.
Yes, best one. APA, full form of APA? Full form.
American.
Precision Act.
No. P for?
Publications.
No. What else? Any other guess? American Psychology Association.
Okay.
How do we get a Scopus account? Can we create it? How do we get Turnitin access and Scopus access?
Scopus, we cannot create our own. We have to publish the paper.
When your paper gets indexed in Scopus, you automatically get Scopus account. Right? And with the name of the university with whom you had last publication. All right? And how do we get Turnitin? Can we create account and we can use it? Turnitin. Again, the rights are given only to universities, few universities. All right? Universities can buy and we can use. So what to do if our university does not provide this facility? How can we get benefited? What should we do? If our university does not provide Scopus account, what we can do? We want to check our paper before sending it for publication or our thesis. What to do? Grow your network, identify the persons who are enrolled in universities where Turnitin facility is being provided. This way you can use, right? I hope you will agree.
Yes.
Right? So, or we have, see, I have given certain links you can explore. Another is PlagScan, right? Or Urkund. Okay. Any queries? Any queries? Please ask. Any suggestions? Or should we continue the same way tomorrow for thesis? Please speak up.
Same way will work.
Same way? Okay.
Yes.
So should we wind up for the day? Okay.
Yes.
Sir, I was asking any queries. Or any suggestions for tomorrow?
Tomorrow will be what topics will be covering tomorrow?
I'll show it again. Let me show. Today we have focused on synopsis. Tomorrow we will focus on thesis.
Okay.
Let us revise what we have done today and what we will do tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. That is your right to know. See. Now cross-check. Have we covered all these topics? Understanding the components of a synopsis, writing an effective research problem statement, conducting SLR using PRISMA, formulating research objectives and hypotheses, designing a research framework, conceptual and theoretical models, RM in management, where we have discussed qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method approach, then sampling design and sample size estimation, then writing a high impact review of LR section, then data collection tools, survey, interview, observation, and secondary, then PLAG, research ethics, and academic integrity in thesis writing. Are we done with this?
Yeah. Yes.
With examples? Right.
Yeah.
Now, day 2. We will focus on thesis drafting, finalization, and publication strategies, and these are the topics and subtopics.
Okay. Thank you.
Will it be fine? Should we proceed
Yeah.
today's format only?
Yeah.
Two
Yes.
caselets? Okay. Any suggestions, any or idea or anything you would like to share?
If possible, can you just put one PPT of example?
These case studies are examples.
Okay, just like the conceptual framework. So,
Yeah, that is what I have mentioned is you can follow TAM,
Yes.
or TPB or anything based on the nature of the research or SERVQL or any other framework. It depends on the kind of research you are going to carry out.
okay.
Yeah. Or if you want to ask anything that you are not able to explain right now, you can just send me a WhatsApp. My number is there in the group. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. You can